Yeah. What's going on, man? Top Flight TV. What's going on, Mr. Top Flight Films? How's everybody feeling today? We are here, man. Hey, listen. I need y'all to go to Top Flight TV, Top Flight underscore TV on Instagram and follow the page. Make sure you hit the like button when you come in here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content. You dig? How's everybody doing today, though, man? I'm fresh off vacation. I'm back home. Had a great time with the family. Kids are happy. A lot of money was spent. Yeah, a lot of money was spent. It seems like when you go on vacation, you just spend so much damn money. Every 5, 10 minutes, you giving somebody dollar bills. But it is what it is, man. Family time is priceless, you dig? But today we're gonna talk about two things. Today I want to get to Dr. Umar, his rant the other day about being broke or not being able to get into his bank account. I want to talk about that. And the main topic is we don't owe Africa anything, okay? And if anybody knows why we owe Africa homage or owe Africa anything, please feel free to comment and inform me and tell me. But I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to give my perspective. Um, you all know uh, when we were brought up, we were taught that Africa is where we're from. And we were taught that by outside entities, not necessarily home. I wasn't taught that I was from Africa by my family. My family never told me that. Um, they did tell me about slavery. They did tell me that some of us came on slave ships, but it was never any depth to the African thing. They never could pinpoint where exactly we're from. They could never pinpoint any ancestors of ours that are from Africa. There was never really um, any African culture in my household, and I'm just being honest. Um, but when we started seeking knowledge, man, we started to look for information as far as where we come from. Because yes, I will admit, man, for a while, I didn't know where I came from. And there was always a narrative that we don't know where we're from. There was always this narrative that we are in a identity crisis or some shit. And for me, right, for me, it's been a journey to actually try to figure out what what I would like to subscribe to. Um, whether it's Hebrew Israelite, whether it is Muslim, whether it is Christianity, whether it is, any other ideology that people, have out there. For me, man, I found that always in the back of my mind, I knew I'm American, right? I never really wanted to accept that. I was really in denial. You did, because we used to hate America. Like we would always talk crazy about America, like F America. We not going to the army, this, that, and the third. Until I grew up, right? Until I grew up, I got older, and it's like, you know what, man? Hold up. I live in America, right? This is where I live at. This is where my ancestors laid a foundation. You understand? They are the foundation of the country. And I'm like, why are we looking over to Africa? I would hear people talk about they doing charity work in Africa, they building schools in Africa, they doing all this stuff in Africa. And I'm like, dog, why aren't y'all doing this shit in the cities of America? What what is that about? You know what I'm saying? Like, is more than enough people that need help, black folks that need help right here on American soil. Why in the hell are y'all taking money and resources and going to Africa, right? Um, so there's been this running narrative that we owe Africa homage, and of course we pay credit when credit is due, right? But at the end of the day, man, we were sold by the Africans. You understand? At the end of the day, we were sold by Africans. And when you really think about that, and you really take a look at that, why am I praying reverence, right? Why am I out here paying reverence and homage to a group of people that sold us? You understand? Like, am I crazy? Somebody give me another perspective. I'm open to all perspectives. But at the end of the day, people, you got some people that are very dedicated to the African narrative. And I understand that that's their identity. I understand that that's what they built their platforms on, and that's what they built their identities on. So I get it, right? But at the same time, it's like the whole pan-Africanism thing is going down the drain, man. It's not. It's like a thing of the past. You understand? And a lot of black people are recognizing and embracing their American heritage because I feel like we got fooled into looking over to Africa. We got fooled into focusing on Africa instead of focusing on our homeland. And I believe it's a good reason for that. I believe that um, people wanted us to focus on another land so we wouldn't focus on the greatness that our ancestors put down on this land. You understand? And that's a real trick bag right there. That's a real sneaky, deceptive thing. And a lot of us fell for it, and a lot of us still fall for it. I know a lot of people I talk to, they don't like the whole FBA thing. You dig? And one thing about it, two things for sure. Uh, FBA is it's a problem for a lot of people, right? FBA is something that is living rent free in a lot of people's heads. You understand? Uh, they're trying to see when you know when you're doing something right, right? When people start telling lies on you. That's like a common thing. Hold up real quick. You know, you know when you're doing something right when, as the saying says, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So you got people out here making up lies. They calling the FBA FBI. Why would they do something like that? If FBA is so insignificant and it's so extremely pseudo, why is this the topic of conversation that a lot of people having whole streams on? They're having whole panel discussions on. People are very angry at this new thing. I don't want to say new thing because the lineage has always been there, but they're mad at this thing called FBA. If it wasn't shit, and if it wasn't true, and if it wasn't a threat, why would people be talking about it? You dig? My man YouTube sucks now says you can put on that dashiki wearing Afro centric brothers. Look, hold on, let me get to that. Um, Shout out to my brothers that wear the dashikis, right? Shout out to my brothers that wear the Afrocentric garb. At this point, and I'm gonna say this, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. At this point, y'all look like y'all cosplaying Africans. You dig? Uh, you look like you're trying to be an African, and you look like you're trying a little too hard. You understand? Let's take Dr. Umar for instance, because we're gonna segue into the Dr. Umar situation. Y'all know I've been very critical of Dr. Umar, and I've also given Umar a lot of respect, right? I absolutely feel like Dr. Umar is needed. His voice is needed in the culture, especially when it comes to mainstream platforms. He says a lot of things that a lot of people were scared to say. Um, Umar just made a video last week. I'm a little late. I've been on vacation. Umar made a video last week basically saying that his bank account was frozen. He said he wanted to send his homeboy a couple dollars. He went to the bank, right? He went to the bank, or he called the bank, and the bank account was frozen. Now, let me tell y'all this. That means two things. That means two things. Either the feds is coming to get him, because make no mistake, I know we got some Dr. Umar supporters in here. Shout out to Umar. Umar is cool, you know what I'm saying? But listen close. You might want to tap him on the shoulder. Either the feds are coming to get him, because they're going to come and get him. Y'all know that, right? Umar is going to be under the microscope. Well, he's already under the microscope. I'm sure there's an investigation. I want to talk about Hot Boy Turk too, because he's been shooting himself in the foot. But I'll get to that in a minute. Umar has collected millions of dollars. Let's just say 1.5 million. Do you think the feds have not been keeping track of that? Do you think the feds have not been investigating Dr. Umar, especially all of the pro-black stuff that he talks, going from Africa to America, going to all the states in America, in the nation, speaking, spreading this message, whatever his message is. He says he's opening a school for black boys. Y'all think the FBI is just cool with that? Y'all think that they all right with that? No. They know what he spent on that school. They know the donations. They know the donations that he's taken in. And either the feds are going to come pick him up and they froze his account, or he lied. One or the other, in my opinion. I'm kind of leaning towards him lying, right? It looked like he hit a move. It looked like he was broke and tried to like lie to the people and say, look, I don't have no money. Can you go ahead and throw me a couple dollars? But at what point will Umar be ashamed? He has no shame. What grown man, dog, hops online? Look here. Let's look past all the great things that he says. Right? Let me turn my chicken over. I'm out here cooking chicken. Y'all want to see? Y'all want to see I'm cooking up over here? Hold up. Oh. Oh, yeah. You cooking, baby. What grown man has the audacity to beg people for money? Me as a grown man, I cannot see myself asking anybody for anything. This man has been online begging for donations for how many years? Somebody tell me. Does anybody in the chat know how many years Umar has been begging for donations? Does anybody know? Any of my Umar supporters, how long has Umar, Texas Bama, what it do? How long has Umar been asking for donations, asking and receiving donations? About 20 years? Bro, see, sometimes we get so busy in our life and so much going on the internet that we never stop to think, this nigga's been collecting donations. Let's give him 15 years. Bro, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane, man. The school is not ready. He said the school was going to open again soon. He's been saying this every year. The school was about to open. The problem is, how is the school going to open when there are no kids enrolled in the school? They're not enrolled in the school. How are you going to open a school when there are no teachers on the payroll? How? Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. Chucky666, Chicago, Al, what it do? Joseph Gonzalez, yeah. Dr. Umar talks about white supremacy. he talks about being a warrior out here of some sort. But this nigga, all they had to do, all they had to do was freeze his bank account, and he's helpless. I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. Listen, man, all the pro-black shit, all the Afrocentric shit, all the red, black, and green shit. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of that shit is just talk, because if all they had to do is shut his damn bank account off, he can't. What? He didn't have no cash put up. He didn't have no stacks put up. No, Paris Beckford. Shout out to you. I appreciate your comment, but no, we gotta be real. Listen, this man's talking about opening a school for black boys. This nigga is supposed to be smart. He's supposed to be smart. Look, even me, my dumb ass, I know to not put all my money in a goddamn bank. You understand? Like, this, he's supposed to be a leader of some sort. He's going from country to country, state to state. He's the prince. He's the prince of pan-African. He's supposed to be a prince. How are you a prince of anything if all it takes is one press of a button to shut your whole shit down, to where you got to come on the internet and beg and ask? I'll be fair and ask regular people for their hard-earned money. Come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? This is supposed to be a leader. This is supposed to be somebody that's thorough. That's not thorough at all, man. You mean to tell me he couldn't go pull out $50 from under the couch, from in the car console? Come on, man. Sheila Hamilton. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to keep my language clean. Um, let me ask y'all this. What has Africa done for black Americans? Somebody tell me. What has Africans done for black Americans? Shabaka said, people peep game. Umar is no true example of pan-Africanism. He speaks words of wisdom, but his actions say something else. Pan-African goes deeper than the Prince of Pan. Okay, Shabaka, I'm glad you're here, brother. Tell me, what has Pan-African done for black Americans in the past 50 years? Something tangible that we can hang our hat on, that a Pan-African can hang his hat on. What has Pan-African done? And this is a serious question, no disrespect. But we gotta be clear, man. We gotta really ask ourselves these questions. Chance says, you got people that do that. You can still have a good income, but that evilness is gonna do everything to tax their own people. Not a pick me says civil rights. That wasn't really Pan-African. Those weren't really Pan-Africans. I don't believe Dr. King. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Did he consider himself a Pan-African? Dr. King was advocating for America. Nobody has answered the question. Can somebody answer the question? What has Pan-Africanism done for black Americans? And why do we owe Africa when they sold us? This joint was like $40. I love this hat, man. I love this hat. Shout out to you, Mr. David. Why do we owe Africa, y'all? Somebody tell me. Give me a great answer. I feel like I owe the ancestors that were here on this land. You dig? I owe the great ancestors that were here, that built this joint, that fought, that got bit by dogs, that got hung from trees, you dig, that ran away from plantations. We owe them, we overlooked them a lot. A Brown said, easy on the vape, my guy. Shit is no good for you, bro. I appreciate that, Holmes. Siraj says, I'm gonna pull up. Where you at? Okay. Uh, but yeah, man, I just wanted to really ask that question. I really wanted to ask the question, but it's also a statement, man. We don't really owe Africa, dog. You know what I mean? Like we just don't, man. We owe it to the foundational Black Americans. You dig? And if Pan-Africanism was all about unity, if Pan-Africanism was all about unity, why are they so quick to shit on foundational Black Americans? I thought y'all was about unity, man. I thought it was about unity. Texas Bama said Africa owes us. They owe us, dog. They owe us. Uh, some of those tribes sold some of us. Some of us. They sold us. You dig? Uh, okay, cool. They made a mistake, right? Why weren't there any sort of programs to send for Black Americans once we got freedom? Why wasn't there an olive branch extended and say, hey man, we messed up? On top of that, why then we gotta get deep, man. Look, we gotta tell the truth here. On top of those two things, okay, on top of those two things, they sold us, they didn't offer any sort of come home package with sorry package. No, they didn't send roses, they didn't, none of that. But on top of those things, when a lot of, not all, but when a lot of the immigrants come over here, they disassociate themselves from us. I have personal experience of a young lady from Nigeria telling me she would never date a Black American. Her parents told her never come home with a Black American, stay away from Black Americans. And yes, that's one person, but that is a thing. You dig? So if all these things are going on, why do we owe Africa, dog? You dig? Hashbar says, my dad's son got me. Oh, okay. Chance said, where I'm from, they say way before the white man, there were always slaves people. Paris Beckford said, probably because we're not from Africa, we're from Earth. All right. We're from Earth. All right. Jits says, okay to live in your country, though. Level Zero said, who said we owe Africa? Level Zero, like I explained earlier in the video, man, it's a narrative that we owe homage. It's a narrative that we owe our identity um, to Africa. And they're supposed to be the big brother. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be the big brother, and they try to a lot of the narrative is we are Black Americans who don't really know who we are. That's the old narrative. You know what I'm saying? We flipped the script and we all, got on board and we understand that we know where we come from. But I'm just speaking to like the Pan-Africans who constantly look to Africa. Again, people talking about when they want to say some fly shit and they want to sound like they doing some big shit, like some Pan-Africans, they want to sound like they doing some big shit. They're like, yeah, we building a school over in Africa. We sit. Am I wrong? Have y'all ever heard a Pan-African nigga talk like he doing some big shit? Nigga, do it in New Jersey, do it in Chicago, do it in New York, do it in DC, do it in Baltimore. What the hell are you sending it over to goddamn Africa for? Armand Washington said, look up the origins of the creations of Nigerian name. Yeah, yeah, I'm hip. Paris Beckford said, in other words, it's not where you from, it's what we know. Oh yeah, Texas Bama. Don't get me started on Jabari Osaze. Don't get me started on Jabari Osaze. That let me tell you. Let's talk about Jabari Osaze. If y'all don't know who Jabari Osaze is, he's a guy who was on the House of Consciousness. Okay, he's supposed to be the scholar, respected scholar, uh, and he's on Sarnetta's show. Jabari Osaze, he is African. That's the difference. He is African. So the disconnect on that show is you got a lot of people who don't really who haven't found themselves yet, right? So Jabari gets to come on there and tell people where they're from and where they're not from. And the thing is, he is, I think, Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken. Half of his mother or father is from Ghanaian. Like they really, like I think he's like first generation. You dig? Armand Washington said, "So our own selves be true. Love to go music. Shout out to you, man. Y'all hit that I hit that like button." RGRG said, "You a blood or a crip?" I'm neither, sir. I'm neither. I'm neither. Jesus Rodriguez said, "What up, blood? What's up with all the bangers in here? We got a lot of gang bangers in here. What's up with all the gang bangers in here, man? How old are y'all? Y'all gang banging still? Y'all still gang bang, man? What's up with that?" Um, Paris Beckford said it's a sequence. We have to go to school. No, you gotta keep your beard moisturized, man. Everybody that got a beard, you gotta take care of it. It'll itch if I'm not taking care of it. You gotta take care of it. You gotta wash it, put oil in it, you dig? Make sure you're drinking water. Chance said, nah, you gotta build together now. One mind, one body. That's how other religions build. Jews, Muslims. Who has to build, bro? Chance, who has to build? I believe we all tried to build. Let me tell you something, man. From what I've saw, Black Americans tried to build with everybody. You understand? We've always been accepting. We've always showed love. We've always embraced all the cultures. You dig? We've embraced all the cultures, man. But after a point in time, we start realizing, man, that it wasn't reciprocal. And we start realizing, we start seeing people. What's the boy name? Hakeem Jeffries, I think it's his name. The boy that was on Breakfast Club. He said we shouldn't get reparations because his mother's Jamaican. That's where I draw the line, dog. That's where I draw the line. Like, cuz, like, this is really going on. It's people from other countries coming over here saying that we should not get reparations. What Byron? What was his name? Byron Scott? I don't know. One of them cats. One of them niggas. Pardon me if I misspoke. Not a pick me said nationalism, Marxism, and socialism. Things can turn. You are talking some real stuff. Shout out to you, homie. Shabaka said, because you haven't studied, you don't know anything about pan-Africanism. Study, young boy. You must study. Our struggle has just begun. Well, inform me, bro. It shouldn't be hard. I shouldn't have to study what what a group has done for Black Americans. I shouldn't have to study that. I don't have to study what Black Americans have done for Africa. I don't have to study that. It's not far in the history books. Why should I? You mean to tell me I have to study? I have to go find books to see what somebody did for us? How you doing? Good. Armand said Marcus Garvey. I don't really want to get into Garvey, man. I don't really want to get into Garvey, but do your research, man. Do your homework on Garvey, man. Yeah, I mean, do your homework on Garvey. They saying he was just like a Dr. Umar. Not my words. You dig? Adam says just another man who wants to talk without learning. I don't mind learning, but what I'm saying is, the question I asked was, what has Africa done for Black Americans? What has Pan-Africanism done for Black Americans? That was the question. Why do I have to study that? That should be a very short answer. Shalaman R. Brothers need to follow Thomas Sowell. No, don't follow that guy. He's. Oh God. I just did a video the other day about black people who make a living off of berating and down talking other black people. There's a small niche, especially online, of sambos that make a living, right? They get their content. Let me tell you something. If I wanted to really get content and views, all I gotta do is talk shit about black people. That's like a that's like a delicacy to see another black person talk crazy about black people. Candace Owens, Officer Tatum, what's that one boy, Anton Daniels? It's a delicacy, dog. Like they do good numbers. You dig? Armand Washington said, yeah, nah, Dr. Umar is like Garvey. Dr. Umar is only a man. Brothers, we must stay focused like them Hodge twins. No, no, we can't do that. We can't. I respect your comment, homie, but we can't do that. He's just a man. No, he's the prince of pan-Africanism. You dig? This nigga's running around here talking about he's the prince of pan-Africanism. He's King Kong consciousness. You dig? He's not just a man. He doesn't say he's just a man. He said he's King Kong consciousness. Therefore, we have to hold King Kong to King Kong standards, right? We gave him a pass long enough. We've been patient with that nigga. We've been very patient with him. You dig? Come on, man. Come on. Enough is enough. Like, you got, look, at this point, what he needs to do is he needs to just reach out to somebody and get some help, man. Lord Jamar tried to help him put some stuff together. He didn't want to talk to Lord Jamar's people. A lot of people tried to help him, man. Now he got the lady coming out on him, airing his dirty laundry. It's women online airing out his dirty laundry. I'm not really concerned with that because, you know, a man is gonna be a man. You know what I'm saying? But when you are out here and you claim to be of some sort of consciousness, when you claim to be a responsible individual, because in order to teach kids and house kids and transport kids, you're basically saying that you're a responsible individual. So if you out here and you putting yourself out here like you're a responsible individual, you're gonna have to walk that walk. You're gonna have to walk that walk, man. You can't just talk that talk because you making yourself and others look bad. You dig? Matthew Gardner says, why do you think that you deserve reparations? I don't think I deserve reparations. I know I deserve reparations, but we ain't gotta get into that. Every time I talk about reparations, man, the room gets really hostile. You dig? Unknown said he can't even look after his own kids. Man, let me tell you, the gig is up, man. The gig is up. My man, he just needs to pack it up at this point. He needs to sell those buildings and pack it up. Because, you know, he got his daughter online saying that he's never took care of her, man. Like, come on, man. What we doing? Mr. Drewman said, reparations for what? Oh, God, I don't even want to go down this road, man. Reparations for unpaid slave labor. Reparations for my ancestors building a country for free. Building the economy for free. That's what the reparations are for. You dig? Matthew Gardner says, you were never a slave. That's fine. But my ancestors were. You dig? And reparations, I believe reparations will happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. It may not happen in my lifetime, but in order for America to get itself together, reparations has to happen. They tried to overlook slavery. They tried to overlook Jim Crow and everything that we went through. Everything that we went through. They tried to overlook it. They tried to smooth it over and ignore it. But the reason why the country is still unhealthy, very toxic, is because they haven't made it right with foundational black Americans. Matthew Gardner said, you just want free money. Look here, man. Yes, the money's not free, number one, because my ancestors already worked for it. So the work was already done. Now, let me ask you, if your father, let me ask you, Matthew, if your father and your grandfather built, let's say a neighborhood, they built a neighborhood called Mayonnaise Heights, right? They built a neighborhood called Mayonnaise Heights. Your father and your grandfather, they didn't get paid, right? They didn't get paid. You come along, you're born, you're older, you realize your father and your grandfather never got paid for their services. They never got paid to build this beautiful neighborhood that's generating income. It's a rich neighborhood. You mean to tell me you'll be all right with not getting the what your father and grandfather was owed? Is that what you telling me? No, no, answer. Don't say you're funny, Matthew. Answer the question. Answer the question, my man. Right. So that makes sense, right? Neil says no because they were not contracted to build anything for any amount. That don't even make no damn sense. That don't even make no damn sense. It doesn't really matter, dog, if they were contracted or not. The point is, see, the thing is, you claim to be American, right? Are you an American? Is that the American way to say, hey, look here, you built this country, but fuck you, you didn't sign a contract. Not a pick me said reparations. If you're speaking conscious, the idea goes much deeper. The right needs to be land to the genetics of plants and animals. No, 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 no. Checks, brother. Checks. Checks. If somebody wants land and whatever else, they can go buy it themselves. You dig? Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Garfield Poto says, I can't expect anything from anyone unless I did the work myself. Of course you can. Of course you can. Because we're talking about black people getting reparations. Okay? I already know. I already know, bro. Poto, where you from? Garfield Poto. That sounds like, where you from? What country are you from? Texas Bama said, people are not smart. Just go along with the BS. Keep speaking truth and facts, bro. Shout out to you, Texas Bama. You know I'm gonna keep talking that talk, man. Um, Mr. Drewman said, people always think they're old. Barry McCockner says, nobody getting free money, man. Scott Harp said, how do you feel about black fatigue? How do I feel about black fatigue? I haven't gave it much thought because it's bullshit. It's just some more bullshit. Lucky do, what it do? I've been saying black fatigue for the past 3 months. I haven't gave it much thought because how do you have black fatigue? How do you have black fatigue? Like, what is that about? Because you're on the internet watching videos? That's why you have black fatigue? Because you watch too many fight videos on the internet? Like, come on, man. Black fatigue? If there was such thing as a fatigue, we'd have been tired a long time ago. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you about fatigue. Let me tell you about fatigue, homeboy. Let me tell you about fatigue. I can't count on my hands and toes. I've been pulled over and searched probably over 100 times. Probably over. Now, some of them, yeah, sure, I was doing wrong. But a lot of them, I've been clean for 21 years. I'm in Narcotics Anonymous. I'm in the program. I'm a recovering addict. I've been clean for 21 years. You know how many times I've been pulled over while clean, pulled over and searched? One time I'm leaving a meeting with all my NA buddies, all my recovery people. I'm leaving a meeting, right? Car full of NA people. And the police pulled me over. They said they smell weed in the car. Pull the dogs in, take us out and search us. And I felt like an asshole. It's a bunch of white people, bunch of my white friends. We in the damn car. You know, I was so damn embarrassed, dog. Like, but I'm happy they got to see how things go down. They know we just left a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. They knew I had 2 years clean at the time. You dig? So talk about fatigue. Like, knock it off. Come on, man. I got a list. I can go down the line of many times I minded my business and someone interjected themselves into my life because they felt like they could talk to me or tell me or give me instructions. You dig? Um, yeah, so black fatigue, that's some wine and shit. I got black fatigue. I'm tired. What is that about? What is that about? Black fatigue, man, please. Oh, y'all give me a second. Let me turn this bird over, man. I'm just out here grilling and chilling, man. You dig? Oh, the leaper. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, recovery is everything to me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's everything to me. You know what I'm saying? I got clean when I was 23, man. So I've been living this clean life for a long time, and it's paid off. You know what I'm saying? Best decision I ever made was to stop using drugs and drinking and running the streets and participating in other things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even want to do the Irish thing, the Irish reparation, man. Bro, go do your homework, man. Rebecca Phillips says she got 6 years. Salute to you. Congratulations. The Leaper said, my sister's a recovering heroin addict of 15 years. Shout out to your sister, man. Shout out to your sister. But listen, man, I'm gonna get up off here. I got to finish cooking dinner, man. I will be back at y'all probably tomorrow or the next day. Probably tomorrow. You dig? But y'all hit the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. And I will talk to y'all soon. All right? Boom.